The secret reason you should learn a language that people don't talk about. So, what is this video about? What is the title? Here's the big secret. I think a lot of language influencers will talk about the benefits of learning a language or, being able to travel, the intellectual benefits, etc. But there is actually another reason that I've literally heard nobody talk about. And the reality is that if you live a comfortable Western life, if you've gone through the education system, you've probably never actually learned something really difficult before on your own. You've always had some kind of authority giving you shallow work tasks. And that's what I'm basically going to talk about in this video. And I think it's life-changing once you actually realize that you can take agency over your own learning and you can improve in any direction you want. So what is this kind of diagram that I've drawn? Let me explain. So this kind of cube with the 4 sections, not a cube, it's a square, a quadrant, whatever you want to call it, is basically how doing stuff works, how kind of doing tasks work. So on one side you've got shallow or deep. Basically, shallow work is stuff that you could do while listening to something else. It's kind of like chores, random tasks, things that things that you could do that aren't particularly intellectually demanding. If you've heard of the book Deep Work by Cal Newport, you should definitely check that one out if you haven't. It basically goes through shallow and deep work tasks and how to improve at deep work. But deep work is basically intellectually demanding tasks that you couldn't possibly multitask that are generally higher value. So things like making this video. But yeah, that's deep work. And then on the other side, we have ordered and self-directed. So ordered is basically someone is requiring you to do this. You're basically given a task, you're assigned a task. And self-directed is you deciding to do stuff. So the reason I draw this is because it kind of shows you how bad our current situation is. So if we start with ordered work, ordered shallow work is basically most work. It's the teacher giving you, little tasks to do in school. It's your boss giving you tasks at work, etc. That's the majority of things that we actually do in our life. And they're kind of little things that aren't particularly useful. And then we've got ordered deep work, which might be more long-term projects if you have an intellectually stimulating job or if you're doing like a particular assignment in school, but they're still ordered. You're not actually setting yourself a goal or something to work towards to self-improve. You're actually being told to do something. And the reason this isn't, obviously you need to do things that you're told to do some of the time, but the bad thing about never doing things on your own is that you rely on an authority figure to actually require you to do things. And what happens is you lose the ability to be self-directed, to actually set yourself own tasks and improve in your own way. And this can be really bad, particularly when you want something and you're basically unable to actually evolve as a person to get it. If you think about it, our ability to self-improve and to learn and to evolve as people is one of the most important skills that we could possibly have. And unfortunately, it's sabotaged a lot by the school system and by the workforce and basically modern culture because we rely on people to tell us what to do. The other side of this is the self-directed side. And these are the things that you actually tell yourself to do when you don't have to do them. So obviously shallow self-directed stuff is just personal stuff like chores, etc. Pretty boring stuff that you have to do. But here's the interesting section, self-directed deep work. These are tasks that you've set yourself to improve that are intellectually stimulating, they're long-term. And the interesting part about this quadrant is although we've split it into quarters, it's not like this is 25% of your stuff, this is 25% of your stuff. This section here, I've actually drawn it to be the biggest on accident, but this is actually the most narrow section if we were actually to express it by how much each thing happens. I think it's so rare and so narrow that some people will go their entire life without ever self-directing themselves to do a deep work task. And the interesting thing is that this isn't even the end of the road. We can break these self-directed deep work tasks into labor or self-improvement. So potentially you need to do a self-directed deep work task because of a reason that would kind of come under ordered. So we're going to disqualify that straight away. The only real main reason I would see to do a self-directed deep work task is to improve as a person for some kind of long-term goal. We could split that into either intense learning or something else, which I guess intense learning is the only real one. So we'll just look at that. But that is this is so rare as a thing to do. There are so few people that actually set themselves a self-directed deep work task purely to improve as a person for a variety of reasons. And I think the fact that that's so rare does serious damage to a lot of people because they're basically incapable of actually evolving as individuals. And so I think the benefit of learning a language, as we talked about at the start of this video, the secret benefit is the fact that it is a self-directed deep work task that is intense learning. And so not only are you getting all the normal language learning benefits, but you're actually getting something a lot more than that, because you're doing something that you've never done before and something that most people don't do. And what happens when you do that is your intelligence increases, your learning skills increase, your confidence, you know you're a person that can do things they say they're going to do. Your drive to improve as well is a huge one. That skyrockets. As soon as you do a self-directed deep work task, you realize that, oh, I actually can improve as a person. This is really cool. I want to do this more. And you actually become a way better person because of it. And that's not really something I want anyone to miss out on. So if you are looking to learn a language, you can definitely check out the Language Learning Accelerator in the description. But I will say, if you have any questions, comment below, and you can also jump in my free Discord server. I'd highly recommend you jump in there, and I can talk to you about whatever you want. So yeah, hopefully this video does kind of get through to some people. But yeah, learning a language is extremely valuable purely for this kind of self-directed deep work task quadrant. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and have a good one.